Welcome to the Player Supreme Show at ZenMax.com. I am your host, Player Supreme.
The following presentation is controversial and may be offensive to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, I'm going to share with you guys a post that I wrote way back October 2007 at 10:53 a.m. By removing the power of the pussy from your heads, you take away the only thing that women have over you. Many of you guys fear the pussy. This is why you're afraid to approach. When I say fear the pussy, you fear the power of the pussy. That means you fear what it has over you, the ability to accept or reject you. That is the whole essence of your fear of approaching the pussy. As long as you hold the pussy, women, on that pedestal of she has the doorway to my personal sexual pleasure, then you give the pussy power over you. This is one of the flaws of the PUA system of thought. They hoe chase after the pussy in efforts of getting laid. It's all about satisfying that monkey on their backs. They spend years in thought coming up with ways to trick the pussy into saying yes. Yes. One magic word that has spawned a whole community of desperate for the pussy simps. I know someone's thinking, yeah, Supreme, you got some pussy right now. And I say, yes, I do. Because I learned not to give power to the pussy. Women. When you take away the power that women have, your desire to just rut with her, basically. She doesn't have that much left that makes you shake and quake. Now, does she? If women suddenly woke up in the morning with no pussy, just a sealed area and no mouth, she wouldn't have much to offer the PUA out there, and the whole industry would topple in a few months. And of course, this would never happen, but my point is to show you the truth, your truth. You want to get laid so bad that you put the pussy/vagina up on a pedestal high up in the mountains that you got to climb to. That's in reference to all that dating shit. Just to stick your dick in it. I'm not trying to make you sexual robots. I don't believe in removing the desire for fucking vaginas. I want you to learn to control this. As long as it has power, your ego will use it against you. It will make you feel fear whenever you approach females. It will make your palms get sweaty. It will keep some young men in a perpetual state of virginism due to their fear, or to their being so fearful of the power of the pussy and the pussy itself. A pussy is an ugly piece of female equipment when you look at it. I recall the first time I actually saw one up close and personal. It made me feel fear and disgust. It was just like these little lips wanting to engulf me and suck me up. And there was nothing there but some hair around it. By the way, I had an overactive imagination back then. So I gave it hellacious power. It took me many years to wake up to the truth. It only has the power that you give it. That means that super hot blonde over there really doesn't have any power over you. You have learned to control, or you have to learn to control your fear of the pussy and its so-called perceived hotness. As I tell a lot of males out there, and I just used this as an analogy last night, if I were to rip her skin off, she wouldn't be all that hot now, would she? If I went up to her and threw acid in her face, would you still think she was hot? No. So what are you afraid of? That's my question to you fellas. What are you afraid of? Your own fear that is inside of you. But, by the way, you put it there. I didn't put it there. Your parents didn't really put it there. You did. Or I should say your ego did. And the ego is the enemy behind the gate. The only thing you'll ever need to know to get laid like a rock star is actually how to master yourself. Remove your fear and you will vibrate with a different energy and aura. Remove your fear of pussy and women, will sense that you're not afraid of her beauty. You're not intimidated by her. She will then become attracted to you because you cannot exist in this world. Especially the PUAs running around spitting stupid stories that are boring her to tears. Especially since she and her girlfriends have seen all the VH1 shows out there. You can't exist. I talked to a lady in her 60s the other day who has seen the show. That's how popular the whole PUA phenomenon is becoming. Women know about it. Not good. So there you are. No fear inside you. Standing out like a light in a world of darkness. That's what you get when you remove the fear. Bursting with high voltage energy. She wants to know what it is about you that's different. Why aren't you bowing like the others? Why aren't you trying to spit some kind of corny line at her? Why aren't you ogling at her? Why aren't you worshiping her beauty? Why don't you find her beautiful like all the other conquered fools out there? And you all are conquered fools the moment you bow down to a woman's beauty, fellas. She done conquered you. She owns you. You're a dog. Nothing more than a fucking dog trying to piss on her leg. So what is it about you when you conquer the pussy? You stand out like a light in the darkness. Why do you look at her like that? She's wondering. Why is your look unwavering, full of power and promise? And that, fellas, is what awaits you, my brothers. This is the power that each one of you have inside of yourselves. Many of you doubt this because you're Indian, Asian, Black, Burmese, Haitian, or whatever. And that is your ego, once again, blocking your natural flow. Your ego will feed off your tribal programming. It will twist it. It will use it to create more fear. Fear is the only thing you have to fear. That was from, actually, Theodore Roosevelt, I believe. How many of you have felt the urge to feel fear all the time? The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Franklin D. Roosevelt. Yeah. Your ego has a lot of power over you, fellas. Okay? Your ego is why you fear the power of the pussy. And it's time for your ego to die, my brothers, or at least get control over it. Just like in the movie The Matrix, Neo's ego had to die. He took the red pill. And he woke up to the reality of what was really going on. And this is what's really going on here. Your mind created the ego as a survival mechanism. You got to understand that everything is energy. Your ego is energy and vibration. It's a program, energy vibrational program in your head that broadcasts fear to keep you alive. It's a survival thing. Okay? That vibration is alive and thinking, and it's hardwired into your body and into your mind. Just like Neo was when he awoke in the pod. It controls what you see, think, and feel. If you feel insecure, it's your ego playing with you and keeping the puppet strings tight. Your ego makes you see what it wants you to see. Suddenly that 5'3" blonde looks 10 feet tall, and now suddenly she's 24 stories tall. Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow in the movie Ghostbusters. Same thing. We do not see reality as it is. That's the point. Our eyes actually see everything upside down, and our mind puts it right side up. Your ego is wired into your minds. So you cannot trust what you see. You cannot trust what you feel, taste, or touch. Just like in the movie The Matrix. It has infected every part of your being in its search for more power and life. And that sounds pretty scary, doesn't it? There's something inside of you that is controlling you. You guys who are living in fear. I just talked about one of the guys on my forum. Another fella is thinking about going to a professional to handle his virginism. He's a virgin, an older virgin, and by then you got to get the shit handled. So I say, if you got to, see a professional, but get rid of the virgin status. So this other fellow who's full of fear piped in, well, what if you tell your what do you tell your wife? None of your wife's business how you got your first piece of ass. But if you want to share with her, I did it with my first wife. No big deal. She never laughed or made fun of me. Jovina knows. Most of the women that I've ever spent any time with knew. But I still got tons of pussy. But that's that one guy's fear. Okay? And the person who was talking about it, he's afraid of catching herpes or something like that from a hooker, not realizing that herpes is out there in the general population. And it just contacts skin to skin. It goes past a condom. So that's going to inject people who are fear-based, that's going to inject more fear into them because fear rules them. Most of the males that come on the internet, you have fear in you. You're infected with fear. That's infected every part of your being in search, as I said, for more power in life. But that is the way life is set up. This is your prime directive when you take a body here in life. You must master yourself before you can rise any higher. And that's true in the game. All you guys are trying to conquer your dating life, you have to master yourself before you will be allowed to become successful in dating. Am I making myself clear? You have to master yourself. That is your only challenge out there, is you. Now, I've offered you fellows some tools such as a look at the chakra system and how it relates to issues you're having in your lives. I've offered you meditation programs to help reprogram your fear of women. At the time I wrote this, I had over 400 podcast shows. I now have close to 2,000 at least. I've been doing 5 a day since 2005, I believe. Yeah. 2005. So I've got, I don't know how many podcast shows. Tons of them. And each show has a different lesson in it. You can learn from every show that I put up. Because even if I'm just talking about one of the field reports, I give you my perspective on it so you can learn from that. But as I wrote, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. It's your choice to take the red pill and wake up to what is really going on with you and what is really going on with your issues, with your inner game and women. It's your choice. Once you realize the real culprit is your ego, the ego represents the agents from the Matrix, it should be a simple matter of start watching yourself to see where the agent is trying to reinsert you back into the Matrix. That illusion that's called life. Now, many of you guys, you fall back to sleep. I can see this when I read shit like, I'm working on my inner game or my inner confidence. You already have actually all the game or confidence that you will ever need to accomplish your task or goal, which is master yourself. Your ego is making you think that you need more in reality. All you got to do is fix yourself. That's it. You got to work on yourself. That's why I give you the tools to work on that inner game, that inner confidence, in case you don't know the right path to do it. All I'm doing is helping you uncover you. That's why in my Confidence Kicking program, I asked you questions that makes you think, makes you dig into yourself, makes you self-correct yourself. And just like the Christian religion is making you think you're separate from your Creator, it is already inside of you. Everything that you will ever need, it is already there. There is no once I step into my manhood. There is no once I find it. The key to the lock is right there in your hands, brothers. It's right there inside of you right now. All you got to do is dig it out. Okay? Really, all you got to do is just dig it out. Any questions?